How's it going, everyone? Kim Blacktooth here. So we've laughed and grown fat, which is the perfect time to play some Gwent. So recently there was a press event held over in China, and some new information has come out from there, and it's pretty interesting stuff. So we're going to go over it now, and we'll discuss what that means. Let's have a look, shall we? So let's go over the new information that we got from the China press event. It has been translated from Chinese from this guy here. So thanks to that guy for trying to translate it for us. From Reddit. Now, first of all, the next big content patch is expected to arrive near the end of December. We kind of knew this. End is, I don't know how close, it might be after Christmas, but a lot of people are hoping it's before Christmas. I would prefer after Christmas so that I can have some fun on Christmas and don't have to worry too much doing loads of stuff over the Christmas period. It includes ranked modes, leaderboards, 20 new cards. We've seen some of those. Coral, Dimeritium Shackles, those types of things. And several new premium cards like Burner Bran, Ragnarok, some of these that we saw. So ranked modes, leaderboards, you know, amazing, really, really good. And this is the start of what people want in terms of getting the matchmaking system a little bit more panned out, which is going to be great. Premium cards will be craftable and cost double the amount their normal counterpart does. Okay, so it's basically just flat out double. So commons, they cost 30. They'll cost now 60, which is pretty damn good. You can get quite a lot of premium commons there, really. Then you've got rares, they're 80, so they'll cost 160. That wasn't what it used to be. So either they've changed a little bit, or whether it's, you know, I think, don't forget, this is translated, so that might not be absolutely true. I think it was, commons used to be something like 80, and then, you know, 200, and then 400, and then 1600. But if this is to be true, then commons are 60 for premium, and then rares are 160, epics are 400, and legendaries are 1600. So could be good, and I'd say that's fair. You know, epic legendaries are the way, that definitely the ones that people want. Although I'd love to see some of the common ones. They're all really good, so they're really nice. There will be some kind of reward even when you lose a game. Yeah, so this has been discussed because they are aware that, you know, new players who don't have good decks are losing more and they can't get new decks because of this. Whether this is replacing the good game system or it's adding something on, so you get something for losing as well as good game, we don't know. But that, I mean, that's just even more fairer in my opinion. I think it's definitely helpful for new players, but even, you know, good players lose as well, and so it always feels good to play a good game of Gwent. So that's going to be good. And we don't know if it replaces the good game system. There will be a leaderboard for each region as well as a global one. That's pretty standard, I think. But that would be interesting. I would really like to see what deck they play the most. Like in the Street Fighter leaderboards, we had like what character you played the most. I would like to see what faction you play the most. So the faction which people believe is not as good, say monsters for example, whoever's the top in monsters, you know, he can feel pretty good about himself. He can still be like 25 down the list, because Squirtle might dominate in a particular season or whatever, but, you know, I'd love to see what faction they played the most, so what they probably got those wins with. It will be announced at a later date when the new faction Nilfgaard will be revealed. Okay, so we don't quite know when they're going to be revealed. However, Nilfgaard Empire has very strong spy cards in The Witcher 3. However, it is unbalanced, so clearly cannot be directly translated over to Gwent. Alright, I think we expected that. And will be redesigned. Its flavour will be presented in the form of revealing opponent's card in their hand and other cards that are synergistic with this mechanic. Maybe reducing strength from a card in the hand? You could possibly think about that. So affecting cards in the opponent's hand, maybe. They did discuss about they didn't like destroying strategies before the guys even played the card. They didn't like that, so they're probably going to be very wary about this type of thing, but I could imagine some mechanics, synergistic mechanics, going along with revealing cards in the opponent's hand. Another emphasis of Nilfgaard Empire will be the importance of their leader. There will be a card to reactivate your leader ability. So, like a gold card that has some strength attached to it, and then you can reuse your leader ability. If you translate that onto leader cards that we have already, although that might not be true, it might be Nilfgaard specific, opens up quite a lot of doors. You could have Crash on Crate give 4 on Crate warriors. You could have Anya bounce things twice, which is really powerful. Jeez, you know, you've got Brotherhood to pull out 2 silver cards instead of 1. Dagon could do 2 of his type of thing. 2 Eridins. you know, I think that's a very powerful card. I think that's one that will add a lot of strategy there. I like that. Nilfgaard specific. So new leaders will come sooner than new factions. And this leads on to the other point. After the game has been released, there will be at least 2 new leaders for each faction. I love that. I think that's great. I like leaders. Leaders add a lot of synergy to a lot of... Basically, they open up a lot of doors for synergy purposes. So that is great. I really like that. But that's after the game's released. Queen Meve, is that how you pronounce it? Will be the first campaign mode. She will be a new leader card that you get as a reward and can be used in Constructed. Now, whether this is absolutely true in terms of translation, I think we might be getting that first campaign mode for free. I'm not sure. If she's a new leader card that you can use in Constructed, that's blending it over, so hopefully it would be free. Otherwise, you're locking off content to paid people unless you can buy it with ore, in which case then it's not locked off. We still don't know whether campaigns are going to be purchased with actual money yet or not. So it will be very interesting. Queen Meve. One faction probably won't get one leader over all the others. Maybe. So she might be a neutral faction leader. Everyone can choose her. That'd be interesting. Besides expansions and the campaign as DLC, 20 new cards will be released at the beginning of every competitive season. Okay, each competitive season will last 2 months. So there'll be 20 cards released every 2 months. That's how they're planning to do this, as well as, you know, expansions and campaigns for extra DLC. So they're releasing 20 new cards every 2 months. Okay, and this includes cards for each faction, as well as neutral cards to go into the pot as well. We know the first 20, or we know that some of the first 20 cards which are going to be released: Diamond Rhythm Shackles, Coral, Kayron, you know, these types of things. There are currently more than 200 cards. That's true, there's about 209, I think. By the time the game is officially released, it is expected to have more than 400 and reach 500 by the end of 2017. So, alright, so double the amount of cards we have now upon release. Okay, I think that's generally good. I think, you know, we're experiencing quite a vast amount of deck archetypes as it is already. So I think doubling the amount is just, there's going to be a great game there. I think there's going to be a lot of choice there. So that's great. Spectator mode will be introduced soon. Okay, okay. Apart from spectating your friends, you will also be able to watch top players play together with other people. However, the specifics of this have not yet been decided. So I imagine that's like, I don't know, go on the leaderboards, and if he's online, spectate. So you can watch other top players. That'd be great. I think that's a great thing there. Spectator mode means tournaments will have an easier time, which is great. So that's all around good. Spectator mode will be released at least before the game is officially released. Oh, even better. Very good. I think spectator mode is necessary because people want to start doing tournaments and stuff like that. Really good. Players will also be able to review their own gameplay in some form. Now, in the Kill the Server stress test, you pressed like the tab button and like a replay system came up, so you could replay and watch your games. So that'll probably be that kind of implementation there. Now, whether when you replay a game, whether it takes out all the weighting or whether it adds all the weighting in, I don't know. But that's nice. I mean, it allows people who, say on Xbox, who want to record their footage that forgot to, could just replay a game and record it, which is great. CD Projekt Red will consider the possibility of set rotation if balance is otherwise too hard to achieve. But for now, they don't want to worry about that. So, yeah, because each competitive season will last 2 months. They may do what Hearthstone recently did, whereas have seasons rotate maybe the last two expansions or something like that. I mean, they're not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't worry about it either. Balance, if it's too hard to achieve. Okay. Hopefully they don't have to do that, because with 400 cards, double the cards we've got already, hopefully balance won't be too hard to achieve, but it could be. You never know. So we've got an example screen here that we did see in a particular stream of the ranked system. Now, I believe your level is going to be reset because they don't actually mean anything, okay, at the minute. But the ranking system will mean that you level up, and each level will mean something. You will get a guaranteed reward at the end of each level, and it will be specific, I think. Okay, we've still got the good game system coming in. We've got daily quests here, so if you win a match, you get an extra 50 per day. If you start a match, you get an extra 5. If you get a good game given, an extra 5. And, you know, every time you level up, you get a specific reward, which can be ore, scraps, golden cards, stuff like that. Okay. So here we've got an example of the leaderboards. So you've got global, regional, you've got friends. This is apparently just for monsters, which is great. I'd love to see just the monster players here. You can see this guy's won a lot compared to this guy. Okay, in the ranking and such. Rating, I assume that might be like your matchmaking rating, which is really nice to see. Okay, and I think this might encourage people to build really big decks that are really good and then just keep playing with them without as much experimentation, maybe. There might be a ranked and casual mode, so experimentation might be for casual. But it's going to be hard to get to the top because it's going to be someone who's built a good deck and just played it repeatedly in ranked forever. But it's probably a seasonal thing, every 2 months this gets reset. But I hope there's a leaderboards where it's not faction specific, so just general leaderboards. Then we can see, he's playing monsters, he's playing Squirtle, and see who's to the top. But yeah, really nice there. And we're also getting ranked play. That is something we know, okay? There's some very interesting information there. The Nilfgaard faction. We saw the ranked play, the leaderboards, the leveling up system. That's all new. We did see it on a stream previously that I never commented on. But we also get to know what kind of schedule they're thinking about as well. 20 cards every 2 months. They're going for a seasonal thing with the ranked play as well. We got to see more about the Nilfgaards. What they're planning to do with that as well. So the thing that really interests me, and I'm still confused about, the first campaign. So Queen Meve is a reward for completing it. Is it going to be free? If it's free, I have no quarrels with it whatsoever. But generally speaking, they were keeping the multiplayer and the single player completely separate. And I agree with that if you need to spend real money. If you don't need to spend real money, you can save up ore and get it, then I don't mind. But if it's real money, I'd love for them to keep it separate so it doesn't become like a pay-to-win kind of thing. We don't know Queen Meve, is she going to be a neutral leader that everyone can use, which would be an absolute precedent. But yeah, so I want to know more information about that before I make a judgment on that one. If you can buy it with ore, absolutely great. If you have to buy it with real money, it doesn't seem like it's a bit of an odd one, Buy it with real money and you get a reward for competitive. But thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you think about these changes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.